Thumbs up.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the 307 podcast.
Hey, look.
You guys will know, you'll recognize if you're watching this online that Chad is not here. He has an extended sabbatical that he's been on, and so he has graced us with a phone call at least. So we're just thankful for what we can get.
Look, you do not have the authority to open my show with your introduction when I'm on the show. You guys are already screwing this up because my primary reason of coming on the show today is to share with the people. I'm going to give you the details on a really cool trip that you can take with you and your family. So if you're into traveling, this is going to be a travel show.
No, this is a Q&A.
Yeah.
We announced it on Patreon and Instagram.
We can cut you real quick, bub. You better tread lightly.
Look, guys.
Well, when this gets too boring and you've mentioned your third meal, we're cutting you off.
Look, guys, y'all don't screw this up, man. I miss you guys a lot, and
it seems like it.
Yeah.
Chili, he is on it today.
I miss you guys a lot, and you know this. We have went a little hard on this pull right here. I've experienced quite a lot of travel fatigue, and we're on our last leg though today. But man, I'm glad to be here with y'all today and with all the listeners. I have been doing some work while I've been gone. I have some interesting guests lined up for the podcast. We have an Orthodox Christian coming on the show here in a few weeks. We have our hospice nurse Penny coming on the show to talk about death and dying. And I've currently been in communication with Dr. James White, and we're looking at having him come on the show. And then we have our Catholic friend who's coming on the show, Mr. Dom Razzo. And he is a former SEAL, and he's going to give us the Catholic perspective. So, man, that's what I've been doing mostly during the travels here. I'm hoping the listeners are really pumped about these upcoming interviews, man, because I know I am. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot to learn from this lineup again.
Well, that sounds good, but I'm unclear on one thing. You said we've got the Catholic perspective, Orthodox Christian, kind of a episode about maybe death and that kind of thing with the hospice nurse. What is the James White perspective? I'm unfamiliar.
You don't know? You haven't listened to the debate between James White and Leighton Flowers?
I haven't.
Okay. Dr. James White is part of the Apologia Studios out in Arizona.
Oh.
Yeah. And so he is a dyed-in-the-wool Calvinist.
Okay.
And he travels the country, and he really specializes in participating in these debates. I think he's on a circuit right now that is debating specifically the doctrines of Roman Catholicism. So he's really up to speed. So we're really looking to get the Protestant perspective on truth as it specifically surrounds or pertains to the sacraments.
Got it.
From Dr. James White, yeah.
Got it.
I'm telling you, man, it's going to be big, son.
Dyed-in-the-wool Calvinist, huh?
What do you think, Corn?
Dude.
One show, two Calvinists.
What do you think, Corn?
If you
Huh? Hold on. What do you think, Corn?
Corn thinks you might as well baptize babies.
Dang. I think, didn't Corn post something about that the other day, baptizing babies?
I don't remember.
Oh, man.
Chili found somebody on Instagram that you should have on. He's got a clip of him.
Yeah. I'm working on him now.
I'm sitting here looking at Duke University. You ever heard of that, Chili?
Oh, yeah. You in Durham?
Yep. If that's, I don't know where I am, but I know there's a stadium right over here that says Duke University.
Yeah. Why are you in Durham, North Carolina?
Just where I ended up, Bubba.
All right, then. Well, Yeah, Duke beat Kansas last night in the State Farm Champions Classic basketball. You know, Cameron Boozer had 18 and 10. It's a good game.
Dude, you're so freaking lame, Chill.
Well, I'm just giving an update. You brought it up. Why are you in Durham? Anyway, get to the travel.
Okay, so before we get into the Q&A today, I want to let you guys know what's been going on and I'll give you guys a little travel route if you're looking to take a little vacation. First of all, we started in Mexico, and if you're looking to follow along this route that I took, you do need to begin your travels in Mexico, all right? So what happens in Mexico, the reason you want to start there is because you go ahead and get nice and fattened up while you're in Mexico, because the rest of this trip you're going to kind of be scrounging it. So you get fattened up in Mexico. You stay at an all-inclusive resort in Cancun where they feed you all the food and coffee that you could possibly even attempt to consume. I was eating on average in Mexico 5 plates of food per sitting.
Oh my God!
That was my average feeding in Mexico.
Blake literally knew this would just be about food.
Burt's gonna have his hands full when he gets back.
Yeah, how much running you been doing?
Another thing that you do while you're in Mexico
sounds like none
is the funniest thing I experienced in Mexico was when we actually went out and walked around town. And these Mexican people are hustlers. I'm talking about they will swarm you and try to get you to buy their little knickknacks. There's flea markets everywhere, Mexican flea markets. And so we went out and walked around the flea market. And when these Mexicans would approach me and try to engage me to get me to buy their knickknacks, they would assume that I was a English speaking male. So they would speak to me in English and I would respond to them with a made up language. I sound like I kind of made up a language that sounded like Kenneth Copeland speaking in tongues. And I would respond to them with my made up language and it would completely throw them for a loop. And that was the funnest thing that Brooke and I got to experience while we were down there is the reaction of these Mexicans to my made-up language as they tried to hustle us to buy their knickknacks. It would have made the most epic YouTube video that I think we've ever filmed if we could have caught their reactions on camera. So while you're down there, you have to try that.
That's good. Sounds like you're filled with the Spirit down there. Next.
When you leave Mexico on this travel route that I'm giving you guys here today, once you leave Mexico, you need to head on up to Lynchburg, Virginia, and stop in at Liberty University as a VIP. Now, I don't know what your experience will be like around there if you're just a normal, poor, uneducated poor, but if you stop in there like I did as a VIP, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it is quite the experience to be chauffeured around by the educated class, to participate in dinners.
What's all this background noise?
Are you rebuilding a pony motor or something? Going through your Legos?
Brooke just got in the van.
I mean,
they were asking what the background noise was.
Yeah, if you're going to be on this any longer, you're going to have to cut that out because the listeners are they can't even hear what you're saying.
Yeah, we're getting back on the road now. So Liberty University, big time, dude. Did you guys see the picture of me on that stage in that blue suit?
I did.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about it popped, man. I mean, that blue suit popped on that stage. And to be there with all of these, however many couple thousand young people they had packed into that stadium, I don't generally like the youth at all. But these youth loved the Lord. And to be in there with them and partake in the worshiping of the Lord with that many young people was a really cool thing, man. It was very encouraging. And you know what else was encouraging? The next day at Liberty, we got to do the Murph Challenge, which I crushed, by the way. I mean, nobody there was even close to as good as I was when we did that workout.
That is not true.
It was ridiculous how bad I crushed it. But you know what was cool about that at Liberty, the Murph Challenge that I did with them, was no one was like dressed in half naked fitness apparel. Like these kids actually have some good traditional, values, and you could see it in the way they acted, the amount of respect that they had for their elders, me being one of their elders, and my wife. They call my wife Mrs. Rite. But the amount of respect they showed both for their elders and for themselves. You didn't have a bunch of 18-year-old girls in there in half-naked workout clothes, and all the dudes kept their shirts on. And I was like, this is a cool environment that this college has created for young Christian men and women, and not that everybody there is perfect, but it was, I think, a place that they can go to school and actually experience some what is now old school, outdated Christian morals and values. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's starting to sound like you're underwater again.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
All right. If I need to take it off, if I need to switch it on my phone, just let me know.
All right.
So, yeah, that was Liberty. Murph Challenge there. Totally crushed it. Left there. Now, here's the third leg on your trip is Appomattox. Have any of you guys ever been to Appomattox?
I don't think so. Where's that at?
Do you know what happened at Appomattox?
Oh, big battle.
Appomattox Courthouse. Does anyone know what happened there?
Yeah, bloodshed.
Is that where
Corn, you don't know what happened there?
That's where Robert E. Lee surrendered.
Thank you, Corn.
Yeah.
Thank you that somebody around there,
Well, I did.
at least one person has a little bit of sense about them. Yes. Appomattox Courthouse is where Robert
All right,
E. Lee,
what does he need to do for the audio?
We can't hear you, bub. I don't know what's going on in the van. I don't know if y'all are running off the road. I don't know if you're rustling papers in the speaker. We can't hear you. There it goes again.
Oh, my God.
All right.
What's going on?
All right. Try it now. How is it now?
Well, it's good for the moment.
It's better till you start that again.
Yeah.
Appomattox
Okay.
Courthouse.
Appomattox Courthouse, if you haven't been, you have got to go there. That's where General Robert E. Lee surrendered the Army of Northern Virginia. And, man, it's just such a beautiful spot. And they have also there the Museum of the American Civil War Museum. And when you go in there, they have General Lee's actual sword. Okay? Not a replica. His actual sword is in the museum.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
big there.
Yeah, it's big, dude. Along with tons of other artifacts and uniforms and weaponry and letters. And, I mean, the amount of legit Civil War artifacts that's housed in that museum, I've never quite seen anything like it. So that's the third leg of your trip, from Liberty VIP to Appomattox Courthouse to check out the surrender of the Army of Northern Virginia. All right. Now, the fourth leg of your trip, from there to Shenandoah National Park. All right. While you're there, do some hikes with your dogs. Go down to Rapidan Camp. See where Hoover built his little camp down there. Do a few hikes. All this stuff. Really good. Fifth leg you guys are following me here. I'm giving you the greatest travel tip right here you've ever heard. From Shenandoah down to Chicks Beach in Virginia Beach. Make sure you eat a good dinner at HK. Go out on the beach. Experience the Chesapeake Bay. Do that for a day. Then you go from Virginia Beach to the Great Dismal Swamp in Suffolk, Virginia. Anybody ever heard of the Great Dismal Swamp?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I've been there.
Okay. Yep. Go there. It's a really cool place. Do some hikes. It's got its own unique beauty about it. You're going to really love the Great Dismal Swamp. And while you're in Suffolk, make sure you eat at Harper's Table right in downtown Suffolk, all right? So I'm giving you guys all the good dinner spots, too. Then after you leave there, out of Suffolk, make sure you tour the Great Smoky Mountains on your way home. That'll be the final leg of your trip. And then you look at all the stuff that I've just told y'all about that y'all didn't even know existed.
And somehow end up in Durham, North Carolina.
Well, that's on your way to the Great Smoky Mountains, man.
Okay.
That's en route. Yeah, there's a great coffee shop right across from Duke University called the Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter Coffee Shop. Stop and get you a coffee there.
All right. Well,
that's the trip, man. And
I would recommend in Durham. I'd recommend getting a burger at Bull City Burgers.
Man.
But anyway.
Okay. Chili said we should have stopped at Bull City Burgers, boo-boo, in Durham. Yeah, that's true. Brooke said you don't give out your restaurant advice anymore. So,
well, just did.
Okay, the last thing that I want to, and then we'll get into this Q&A. Look, if you've been thinking about buying a camper van, even if your partner is a tightwad Jew that won't let you, that won't let you spend any money, and he's telling you, no, you can't have a camper van, just go buy a camper van. Because let me tell you right now, man, this is the way to travel, this camper van. Because you can just stop off anywhere, man. It's cozy in here. You can stop off anywhere and camp. You know, you got all your stuff, all your comfort items in here. If you have dogs, it's a great way to travel, man. So if you've been on the fence about a camper van, I just wanted to go ahead and tell you, give you permission to go ahead and buy you one of those. So.
I was going to also give some advice. If you buy one, say you were to buy one for $50,000, be sure you reserve $25,000 for repairs in the first few months. You always want to reserve 50% of what you spend on the van for repairs because they're going to mess up.
Yeah.
On your first few trips, every trip you take it on, it's going to sound like you're in a helicopter. It's going to be like, and the speakers are going to do this thing. And so just also save the money to put into it.
That's a good point. If you are on the fence about a camper van, and now I've convinced you to go ahead and buy one, don't be a dang tightwad. Just buy a brand new one. Just spend $100,000 on a brand new one and get over it. Okay.
There you go. Bill.
Did all you guys see the house that Brooke and I lived in?
I did.
You mean where you came from? You talking about where you came from?
I seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, man.
Was that old man still alive?
No, somebody had bought that from him, obviously, and they were rezoning it. They're going to plow all that down and build apartments there, so it was abandoned. It's probably the last time we'll ever get to see it. And all these locations that we've been to, this is like a memory tour. We've been stopping at these locations that were our dog Jada's favorite places, and we've been spreading bits of her hair that we had saved in these places. That's been really sad.
Oh, good. Now it got really weird.
Yeah, that's been really sad when we've done that, man. But But I think it's good that we're, just feeling that and working through that instead of going through something hard and, just acting like it never happened. So that's also been good for me and Brooke during this trip.
Well, I got 2 questions about your trip.
Okay.
Number one, how does one become a VIP at Liberty? For I see myself going up there and they being like, who are you?
Well, you got to start out really poor and work your way up the chain, Bubba.
You seen where he came from.
Yeah, I did see where you come from. And
Real corn.
what about them biting flies up there in that dismal swamp? Was them things out? You got to tell people about that. You just can't say go to the dismal swamp and then they get attacked by them flies.
Yeah, those are yellow flies. They're only out in the summer. We didn't have any problems with them right now. Yeah, so if you go to Dismal Swamp in the summertime, you're talking about yellow flies, which are just ungodly, and also cottonmouths. They're cottonmouths everywhere. I don't recommend the Dismal Swamp in the summertime.
And mosquitoes.
Yeah, but the darn yellow flies are. You forget about the mosquitoes. The yellow flies hurt so bad. Those are great questions, Cornbread. Thank you for being interested in all this knowledge that I'm offering up.
Well, I love you and I miss you,
Both of
Bubba.
you guys. Yeah, I love you too, man. I can tell, that you have, you respect me as a friend and a brother. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Can't say the same for those other 2 you're with.
Woo!
But anyhow, I'm looking forward to Q&A today, man. Appreciate y'all lining that up.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good mix of questions from Patreon, Instagram for you, Blake, Corn, myself, all of us.
Mostly
So,
Corn, though,
yeah, mainly Corn. I did notice that, but
Yeah.
we'll get started with Patreon, Corn.
Yeah, so
I figured that. And is the Proving Grounds full yet in January, Chili?
No, January has, I can't tell you exactly how many. It's a handful or less. April's wide open though. We just started filling that, so only a few in that one. So.
Oh dang, we hadn't even talked about April yet. Okay, outstanding.
Well, talking about it now.
So January's just got a few spots left.
Yep. But definitely, if you're interested in the Proving Ground, apply for both. Or, don't. There's a few spots in January, so don't be afraid of that one.
Look, man, the Proving Grounds is an awesome weekend. It's unbelievable the amount of stuff that's packed into that weekend. And you know what? As I've been on these travels, okay, I'm running into all these people, and they say, oh, I'm interested in your training. I'm interested in 307 Project training. I'm interested in coming out and training. Look, man, crap or get off the freaking pot, man. Look, it don't mean nothing to me that you're interested in training. Come out and train. Quit being a turd and kicking around and beating around like you can't make your mind up. Are you ready for it, or is it going to be worth it and all this stuff? Look, man, you look. You want to talk about how you get to be a VIP at Liberty University? You train, son. That's what you do. You train. So quit telling me you're interested in training. I'll see you there.
Sounds good.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, so we haven't answered a Patreon question in a long time.
It's been a while.
Been a long time. So I'm just going to go from first come, first serve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Matt Eldridge.
Okay.
I'd like to hear the meaning behind everyone's tattoos. Why don't you start, Chili?
Well, I don't have any tattoos. I think I'm the only one. I don't know if I'll be quick. The meaning behind mine is I guess I'm just a staunch observer of the Leviticus law.
There you go.
That's an Old Testament joke. I don't know. I've never had any interest in a tattoo, so I don't have any. I don't know why you would. So that's my stance.
Chili, you're not a Seventh-day Adventist, are you?
No.
Who's that?
Okay.
Ellen G. White?
Ellen G. White? Yeah, no.
The Great Hope.
The Great White Hope? No, I'm not a Seventh-day Adventist. No. I know a lot of them, though. They mainly avoid competition and they eat carrots.
Yeah, exactly. I had dinner with a Seventh-day Adventist last night, and he refused to eat an oyster.
Yeah, or coffee or tea. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so I didn't know, it sounds like no tattoos. That sounds like something a Seventh-day Adventist would do. I mean,
that's almost the Mormons, too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dr. James White is covered in tattoos.
Well, he's not a Seventh-day Adventist.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying it's okay, man. You can go get a tattoo if you want.
Well, I don't want to. Well, go ahead. Explain some of your are you going to get into that much? What?
Yeah, go, Blake.
Ain't much to say.
Yeah, mine don't have a lot of meaning. I mean, this Q&A, they're sitting one Q and then, a long A. Mine don't really have a lot of meaning. I got them when I was young. I kind of thought they were cool, and they're still all right. I don't despise having them, but I don't really have. I did have a desire to get some a while back, get some more, and then I realized, nah, I'm not gonna get no more. So they didn't really have a lot of meaning, just to be honest. So
there you go, Chad.
Yeah. I mean, look, most of my I'll tell you the story behind one of my tattoos. I have a horrendous tattoo of a pig on my shoulder blade, and that tattoo, me and Cornbread and Dad were going on a hog hunt in a fenced-in hog hunt in Alabama. Back when we were all poor, and we thought we were doing something big, so we decided to all three go and get the same tattoo of a wild hog, and
like it's busting out of your skin.
Yeah, I think I was 17 years old when that went down. So I think Dad signed for me, and we all three got matching wild hog tattoos. And and let me tell you, here's the icing on the cake. Yes, it is a horrifically ugly, terrible tattoo. But me and Cornbread decided to go ahead and rock our hogs lifelong. Paris James has covered up his hog with a globulus.
Big black knot.
And so now it's just me and Cornbread.
That's it. James with that globulus.
That's some bull crap, man. Like that was a pact that we made between each other.
He said his was smiling.
Wild hog hunting, during 30-acre fence and somewhere in Alabama, man. Just went in there and slayed some hogs and goats.
It was big.
Jugger had yard goats out there. He caught them. He had us sold it. It was some sort of exotic ibex or something. It was just nothing but a yard goat.
I remember standing out there in the field with Dad. We was at the truck, and all them animals was out there, and Dad said, "Well, that one is nice. How much for that one?" And that guy said, "That's about $1,500." He said, "Oh, that's a little. Can you do a little better on that?" No, that's the best time. How about that and behind it? It's pretty. I'm not gonna do 1,000 on it. All right, let me get that one.
Hey, we was out there shooting Nigerian dwarf goats, son.
That's big.
Oh, that was a good time.
Yeah, so that's one of my most special tattoos. That's the meaning behind it. Very sentimental.
There you go.
How about you, Corn?
Well, that's that story on that one. Same as the one that's most meaningful to me is I got a picture of my grandfather that's plowing. The picture was taken in the 50s, and it's black and white. The other one's the kudzu and the turkey head and the coon dogs, just all sort of.
And the chicken in the bread pan picking out dough?
Yeah, just sort of the things I was raised up with when I was little.
Yeah.
And on up, you know what I mean? Wallering in the kudzu and whatnot. So, Matt Eldridge asked another one back to back.
Okay.
Well, he only gets two.
You don't have to go in order, Corn. I don't know where.
This is the way I'm doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to.
My youngest is graduating this year and going on with her career and future. I've found myself kind of lost. My wife has spent the last 20 years raising a family, and we have a great relationship, but I no longer find interest in things. I used to enjoy guitars, hunting, archery, etc. Cornbread, have you experienced anything like this? How do I get the excitement back? I was just
You can speak right into that.
Yeah, we're not going to answer anything that's addressed to you.
I was just telling Blake the other day when we was hunting. I said, but, you know, if the boys didn't even hunt or you wasn't here, I probably wouldn't even be hunting.
Yeah.
So I can definitely relate to, you know, I don't really care to go unless I'm doing it with somebody or with the kids or what. Like, I wouldn't say that I've lost any excitement, though. You know what I mean?
If that big boy comes out, you still going to get pumped.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is I just share with them on a regular, daily basis what I do and try to help motivate them to do things or whatever. And I know Chad made fun of me one time for doing it, making them come up and eat, you know, every other Sunday or whatever. But
oh, that's good.
I require them. You ain't going to stay away from your mama and daddy. You going to come see your mama and daddy.
Yeah.
So, and that's a good selfish part too. But I did that when I was younger. I wasn't made to do it, but I did it. Yeah.
I do that too.
It's good.
You
going to ask an IG one?
Huh?
You going to ask an IG one?
Well, Corn.
You ain't going to work
So
me
you're
to
telling
death.
him require his kids to come back around and he might get a little more excited about some things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, this is a good one for all of us. Favorite ROP course memory from each of y'all?
Ugh.
Oh, mine's when old Blake felt a cussing coming down that. his hearing aids had went out on him, and he got trapped in his mind, and it'd been long into the night.
Yeah.
And he come unglued coming down the mountain, and he recovered. He recovered from it, but he had a significant lapse in his mindset there. But he got pulled back up from it. I could understand that if you got where you couldn't hear nothing. But watching that from the outside was pretty good.
It's hard to pick one though.
Yeah, that's just the one.
It's not hard for me to pick one.
What is yours?
That's easy. It's I forget which team it was, but I think the student's name was Cash. I think.
Oh yeah.
This team, for some reason, coming down off one of the last legs of the rock course.
Might have been team 2.
It was pretty early on.
James was there.
This team went full animalistic. They lost all sense of humanity.
Yeah.
And they began to just fart and puke and crap right in amongst each other, like they had no dignity left because they were just too tired. You know, I mean, the rock course is hard. They just got too tired, and we got down to one of the resupply points, and we had enlisted one of our close friends, James Ward, as a co-instructor for this particular rock course. And one of our students, I believe his name is Cash.
It is.
He went over by there's a trail sign for all the normal hikers that come out there and do little hikes and stuff. He went over by the trail sign, used the trail sign as a prop, squatted down and took a massive dump beside the trail sign. Well, I wasn't aware that he had done that. Well, James Ward, while the team was there in resupply, James Ward happened to walk over by the trail sign and sees this massive steaming turd beside the trail sign. And so James Ward screams out, "Who took a massive steamer over here by this trail sign?" And so then the Cash has to roger up in front of his whole team and say, "That was me that left that massive steaming turd right by the dang trail sign because I've lost all dignity." And James Ward commenced to just lighten into all of them. And I got to just stand over there and laugh because one of the few times it happens, I didn't have to be the mean one in that instance because James Ward was extremely angry about that decision to take a crap right beside the trail sign. That was one of the most epic memories. Yes, he did. He actually, I forgot about that detail. James actually made him go over there and pick up his turd. and I don't know. I don't remember if he made him carry the turd out or if he just made him like move it somewhere back in the woods. But he did actually have to move his turd.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Hands down, one of my favorite memories.
The Blake thing's probably the thing that sticks out to me the most, but when James Scoggins was in the van, on the way,
I was thinking of that too.
On the way back with me and Chad, and we had to pull over, and it wasn't funny that he was puking and vomiting. It was Chad's reaction that was so funny. He was laughing at him, telling him, "It's going to be all right, bub. It's just your body adjusted. It ain't used to this." And then Chad said, "All right, I got something for you to puke in. Come on, we got to go." And he handed him a bagel sack. Just an elongated bagel sack.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick one because I was thinking about to go into the wormhole with James Scoggins, and he looked at me and he was like, "I think it was bizarre how calm he was, yet internally stressed. Like, I just can't even explain it. The deadpan look he gave me, like, yeah, I'm pretty sick. I think I might have to throw up, and just right in front of me. And then he was just like, all right. I mean, and Shannon, when I watched her puke for miles and just keep going, that sticks out to me a lot. Like, when people really got to suffering is what all those stick out to me and just made great memories. But all those y'all said too are, I mean, just
it was also funny
iconic moments
when Dobie Gillis went.
Blake like some people cuss.
the first leg on the leg saver with Dobie Gillis was frailing around. Yeah. That was a trip. Joe Weirwick, if you could go back and tell yourself one thing when you were new to your faith, what would that be? Thanks, guys. Love the podcast and y'all's authenticity.
That's a good question. It's another tough one, I'd say, because how do you pick one thing that you'd say?
Yeah. No, it's not a hard question. It's a good question, but it's definitely not a hard question.
All right.
Yeah, the first thing I would tell myself is you don't know nothing. That's what I tell myself. You don't know nothing. All right. You got a lot. Hey, man, this is a long-term process of sanctification, and I know you're excited that the Lord's called you and that He's made you spiritually alive, and that you now have this hope in Christ, this hope in salvation that you've never had before, and you're fired up. But let's hold off on at this stage. Let's hold off on conversations and debates around certain things, and let's just feed off of and preach the pure milk of the gospel for a little while until you have some time and you have some mentorship, and just take it slow, man. You can be excited, but take it slow, because you're going to realize along the way that you don't know nothing, and you're going to keep realizing that along the way as you go. So just don't get too prideful and kind of loudmouth. So that would be my advice to myself. Hey, man, slow down, be patient, learn. Good to go.
Yeah, that's real good advice. I think I'd have told myself to be in the Word a lot more. Be in the Word a lot more. I was.
That's a good one.
I was real apt to tell someone, what Jesus had done for me and about Jesus, and as questions come, being so new, I wasn't in the Word near enough and couldn't really conversate on it the way I should have been able to.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd go tell myself anything, because if you did, then you're just trying to avoid what you had been through, trying to start out with a little better hand. But the things that I've learned and because of the situations I've been in have brought me to where I'm at now. So I don't know that I would really, you're not going to start perfect. It's the start of the process. And so I'm not saying that I didn't need to change anything and nothing was bad. That's definitely not the case. I'm just saying that my life has been the process that got me to where I'm at now and will continue to be that. I think we just have to sit in what we're in and not try to avoid suffering or think about the past or change anything, and just say, this is where I'm at now. How is God shaping me more into his image through this time that I'm in? And that's, you're going to, when you start out serving the Lord, it's going to be a lot to learn.
Yeah, I agree. Any of these exercises, I wouldn't go back and change the past or try to influence it with anything. But as far as like what would have been good, I guess, to know or to hear or whatever, I think kind of like Chad said, I think I could have been told, hey, man, you're wrong about a lot of stuff. Like, you don't have it all figured out, and you'll quickly realize that, so don't be caught off guard by that. I think I thought that that made, like, being saved made life easy, or like things were going to be a certain way because of that, or you weren't going to have to deal with this. And, I think I would theoretically tell myself, yeah, that's not true. Like you're going to you're thinking that this is going to make your life easy now, but that's not at all the case. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to think in those terms of what you'd go back and say, because one hand I wouldn't, and on the other hand, it's so much that you would need to say if you were going to try to, tell you everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think what Cornbread said about being in the Word, being in the Scriptures, and knowing the Scriptures.
Just good practical advice.
I think that's. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so important. But to be more specific about that, I don't know if Cornbread would agree with me or not. I think as a new believer, you are encouraged to read the Word, but you find yourself just reading through the Scriptures with no necessarily agenda or no direction in terms of what am I looking for here? And I would say, to expound upon being in the Word, it would be being in the Word with purpose, to search out important fundamental things as they pertain to your faith, and to then know where those things are, so that you can reference them for yourself, and so that you can reference them for the sake of the edification of the body of Christ. It's like I was at dinner last night, and some people were asking me about some certain different doctrinal things or topics within Scripture, and it's so important to not respond with your opinion or your own personal belief that you formulated based off of your perspective of the world. It's so important to be able to respond with the Scriptures, and also be able to point people to the Scriptures that are going to answer the questions that they might be having as you go. And so I would just add that, be in the Word with a clear purpose, as much as you possibly can.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. You got an IG? You want me to go?
Yeah, we're kind of oscillating back here between different types of questions. I think that's fine. Favorite trail to run in Rome? Maybe Chad won't drone on this one.
anything on Berry College.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'd say House of
anything on
Dreams.
Berry campus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blake,
it's all
Yeah,
good
House
out
of
there.
Dreams.
same. Corn.
I'll say Hurt and Gator to be different.
Okay.
House of Dreams. Derek Brennan. Chili's knowledge of the book of Acts has helped my understanding tremendously.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, appreciate all you guys, what you're doing, especially with insight into the gospel. Will there ever be another advanced Rob?
Well, yeah, I'm sure there will be another advanced drop at some point. Yeah, I mean, the issue is gold is so high right now, and you can't enter into the advanced drop without an ounce of gold. So we were planning on letting gold come down just a little bit, but it seems to just keep keep going up. So maybe we should just go ahead and put another advanced drop on the calendar, because I'm afraid that the price is just going to continue to increase. But yeah, there will be one.
Maybe we should. I mean, if you're considering it, you might should buy your ounce of gold now and hold on to it. It's not going to go bad.
Yeah.
We might charge a Bitcoin for this next one.
It just dropped, didn't it?
Oh, yes.
I mean, really, you just go ahead and buy the gold low and just have it prepped for that potential of an advanced drop. If we don't have an advanced drop, you ain't lost nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There will never be another way to get into an advanced drop other than 1 ounce of gold. So it probably is a good idea to go ahead and purchase that. And just know that we will announce another advanced drop at some point in the future.
Lord willing.
Yeah, Lord willing. That's assuming we all survive. And
Right.
Good question.
Zach Kirshner. I'm currently reading with my wife the book How to Read Your Bible for All It's Worth by Gordon D. Fee and Douglas Stewart. I read a chapter that states the Old Testament historically narratives were never to be interpreted as symbolic stories, wherever detail represents something deeper. Instead, they argue Old Testament narratives are historically not symbolic. These stories are recordings of real events in Israel's history told to reveal God's character and his covenant relationship with his people. They are theologically history, meaning they teach theological through real events. What are your thoughts on this? Why do Christians tend to allegorize every story? Is it to understand or to question? I think it's both. To understand and to question. Question the not understanding.
You think that's why some people tend to view the Old Testament as allegory, is to question it? Or I think that's what he's asking with that last sentence, right?
Right.
Do people do that to actually seek more understanding, or is it to just question
the whole story of why God did that, why that happened?
I think that's what he's asking, yeah.
Well, a lot of them are unbelievable. They're like, wow.
Yeah.
The whole earth was underwater? Mm-hmm. And then I think that's one reason it's hard for people to believe it. So they just say, well, this was just told in order that, we would glean some sort of knowledge or way of living God's character through this false story, which is not true.
I'll just say my perspective on that question is I don't know. I see both. I see what I would regard as a certain group of people that are believers that tend to over-literalize everything. So, everything must be taken, fundamentally literally. And I don't think everything in the Bible is meant to be taken literally. And then I think there's some people who they look at the Bible as a collection of allegories and stories, and there's nothing literal in it. And I don't think that's the case either. My opinion is, well, I think what informs that is the study of the original languages, the study of Hebrew, which, by the way, I throw that around sometimes. It's dang near impossible. I mean, like, I've tried to study Hebrew before. Like, it's just ridiculously hard. There's people far smarter than me that do it, and you do kind of rely on those people who, you know, have more insight into that language, and that can help you understand things, because fact is, the Old Testament specifically is what I'm talking about, New Testament too, but the Old Testament was not written in English, and we can kind of understand more when something in English is written in a symbolic manner as an allegory. And you know, from the study that I have done with the language of Hebrew and basically being able to show the difference in writing techniques and styles, even by the same author, like, there is certainly poetic language, a poetic writing structure, an allegorical writing structure in Genesis and books of the Old Testament. I mean, I believe that. However, having said that, that doesn't mean that the entire Old Testament is that or is allegorical. It's clearly not. I mean, the events in the Old Testament, I mean, I just rattle them off like they're historical events. I mean, I think it's meant to be taken like, this is what happened. This is historical narrative. And I think there's other things, whether it's in the book of Psalms or Proverbs, Song of Solomon, even Genesis, that I think are there's allegorical segments or allegorical structures and poetic writing in that. And that's, if you want to discern the two and try to read everything, instead of just saying, well, the entire Bible is literal, the entire Old Testament's literal, or the entire Old Testament's just a poetic story that's not true, you have to study the Hebrew as best you can and dig into each section for what it is, and not lump it all under one umbrella and try to analyze everything on a verse by verse basis, a passage by passage basis, and, you know, try to be informed that way by that's my perspective. But anyway,
Chad.
Hello?
Yes.
We got you, brother.
Yeah, did you guys kick it over to me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think I think I know exactly. I think Zach is probably talking about like Jonah getting swallowed by a whale, or like Blake said, the flood, or like the manna coming down from heaven while the Israelites were wandering for 40 years, and all of this stuff. Did all of those events actually literally happen? Well, I would say yes, they are historical events that happen. But at the same time, most of the things, if not all of the things that we read in the Old Testament are also, they have a dual meaning. It is a literal event. It does have a meaning for that time and place, but also they all have a separate meaning, pointing mankind toward their need for a Savior, for redemption, for Christ. So I would say take that into consideration as you read through those things. Yeah, man. Look, one thing that I loved that Chris Hewitt said on the podcast I did with him, he said, "There's nothing in this Bible that I need to be afraid of." All right. And I feel like a lot of people who want to take the stories of the Old Testament or the New Testament and the stories that are supernatural, that we can't understand, they want to take and they want to spin them to where that story can fit into the box of their natural mind. And the reason that they don't want to read it as a literal account of what happened is because it's supernatural, and because they are then they're afraid of that because they can't understand how it was possible. So when you read the scriptures, just that was so encouraging to me when Chris said that. There's nothing in here that I have to be afraid of. There's going to be stuff that I can't fit within the box of my little brain that I have. That, by the way, all of our brains in in the fall, our understanding, our intellect, our ability to know the things of God, that was all decreased. Our brains are so jacked up now compared to what they were created to be. Just know there might be some stuff that you can't understand. That doesn't mean you don't have you. That doesn't mean that you can't believe it. That doesn't mean that you have to be afraid of it. So that's my 2 cents on that.
You want to add anything, Blake? Good?
No.
This one, he didn't say directed at Chad, but I think he meant it to be directed for Chad Opie. Since I've only been reading Scripture for almost a year, trying to be like a sponge, learn and understand as much as I can, started in the Old Testament, and I'm currently in Ezekiel. I only listened to 3 of 7 and now Resurrected. I also like to listen to R.C. Sproul's sermons because he just has a way that seems to work for me. Can't wait to start reading Bondage of the Wheel. Thanks, Chad, but it's kind of confusing at times when I learned there was different doctrines. Is it the best way that I just read Scripture and keep all other sources away for now so I'm not influenced in any way? Thanks for what you do. Been a tremendous help.
Yeah, well, I would, if that question is directed at me, I don't know why this gentleman called me Opie, but we'll hash that out one day when we meet.
That was his name.
Yeah, his name's Opie.
Oh, I thought he was calling me Opie.
No.
Yeah, because I was about to get kind of offended by that, so I'm glad y'all cleared that up.
Yeah, no problem, Opie.
Look, man, I do want to say that if you are, newer in the faith and you are searching the Scriptures, I want to remind you of how important it is for you to be a part of a local congregation, elders, and people who you are in face-to-face relationship with, brothers and sisters who also don't know it all, but who you can meet with, who you can ask questions and talk to, and brothers and sisters who can help you work through these things and grow in your faith and in your understanding. So I wanted to throw that reminder out there because, again, if you are just listening to us and Resurrected, I'm glad you're here, and I appreciate the time that we get to spend together, but I do want you to be part of a local congregation, a Bible-believing church in your area so that you can have mentors and men around you to help you grow and who you do life with and spend face-to-face time with. Another option is you could just join the Roman Catholics, and they could just tell you everything that's right.
All right.
And then you wouldn't have to worry about understanding anything. I also, for me personally, I have learned so much from other godly men who have walked with Christ so much longer than I have, and in a lot of cases, so much more in depth than I have. I have learned so much and gained so much clarity from other godly men through personal relationships and also through the reading of their works, that, I by no means would say, hey, all I need to do is read the Scriptures and rely on my own understanding, because I have found there is so much to gain from listening to and reading the works of other great, reputable followers of Christ, who many of them are dead now, but they lived a life dedicated to the study of the Scriptures. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Obviously, you have to use discernment when you're reading the works of other people. It's like I'm reading
the Institutes of the Christian Religion by John Calvin right now. Well, I know not everything in John Calvin's writing is perfect. Like, I know that, right? But I can still learn from the things that he wrote. And there is still a lot of truth in the things that he wrote and the things that the Holy Spirit revealed to him as the Lord used him in the unique way that the Lord used him. And the same with Luther, and the same with other men. So, no, I wouldn't shy away from that, man. I think, again, for me, it's been a very valuable thing. And like I said, getting the local congregation, dude, it's different when you're in relationship with people and you're doing life together. All right, I think it's gonna make a tremendous positive impact.
I've got a question here, primarily for Blake, but I think we can all weigh in on it if we feel like it. Corn keeps saying the names that these people come from, and I'd like to do that, but Instagram has these stupid usernames, so it's not even their name. So anyway, how do you feel, Blake, about the church taking stock or crypto as a form of tithing? It's an interesting question to me.
Kind of like the temple tax, isn't it?
A little bit.
I've never not considered it. I don't know that I've got any qualms with it.
How do you feel about the church taking stock and crypto as a form of tithe? I guess the kind of the issue with it may be the perspective that dabbling in those forms of financial,
It's sort of like gambling.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, you're heavy into that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of silly. I mean, Bitcoin or crypto could be a currency. So then you would be like, well, what do you think about the church taking euros, or what do you think about the church taking, like, it's just another form of currency. I think stocks would be a little bit different because they're valued differently at different times. So, but I mean,
you know a little bit more about it. Like, what would even be the utility of doing that? Like, why would you not just tithe with money?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like
that's kind of odd to answer because I don't know why.
Yeah.
If that's a real thing, if that's a problem.
I bet it is. Yeah, I bet people are doing that.
You reckon so? And they're like holding on to it. Let's see if it goes up before we sell it. Or
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's
interesting.
Because the U.S. dollar is also inflation and deflate. You know, it like goes up and down, mostly down. So that I get.
You could give with silver and gold.
Yeah. I mean, everything's going up and down constantly. We think that the U.S. dollar is just always worth the dollar, but its buying power is always going down. And so if you're taking crypto or gold, if it has a long-term track record, then you could potentially be getting more for your money. You imagine if someone gave a Bitcoin to the church 15 years ago.
Yeah, and they held on to it. Yeah.
But yeah, I've not considered that much, and off the cuff, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
You got anything on that, Chad?
Yeah, of course I do. Are you serious?
Well, send it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Let me ask you this.
Can't eat a Bitcoin, can you?
The local body, the congregation, you tithe. That what should that tithe? Should that tithe be held as an investment for the church, or should that tithe be taken and should it be used to provide salary to the pastor, because that is biblical? Should it be used to provide services for the local community, for the local body of Christ? That's what I'm saying. The tithe should be liquid, because the church is not a body of people that becomes led up by this one group of people who is then making an investment for the purpose of gaining wealth. The tithe is so. I mean, I have an issue with that. I have an issue with any pastor who's leading a congregation who's taking tithes that are being used as some sort of form of long-term investment.
Yeah, I don't think they should invest it, but if someone's got a bunch of Bitcoin and they want to give one to the church, I don't think there's no problem with them giving it to the church and then the church selling it and using it for money.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how about that? How about that individual just liquidates it on his own end, and then ties to the church whatever the form of currency that's being used. Because at that point it's usable. What I'm saying is this could think about what this could look like if you had a congregation that was tithing things that are primarily used as a source of investment. I mean, think of the problems that causes. All right.
Well, I've got a question. The main reason that someone might want to do this is, I believe it could impact the taxes for the individual giving, like say the stock or whatever, and it appreciated in value, and they donated like they could avoid capital gains taxes. Like, there's probably a tax implication for the tither in that case. So maybe he's even asking this fellow on Instagram about, is it wrong to try to avoid taxes with your tithing? You know what I'm saying? And to that, I would say I don't think it's. I mean,
if there's a loophole there, it's a loophole.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I guess if it's legal, but I mean, if you're tithing stocks and stuff too, I mean, your congregation better have just a solid leadership structure, because I could see how that could be abused and how.
Well, I mean, getting any money could be abused. I mean, I don't really agree with that line of argument. I don't think it's a perfect idea to give crypto or stocks either, but like we all use digital money anyway. Most people donate online anyway. Like they're just donating.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Chili, is there's a lot more temptation to just for somebody to just sit on that and let it grow instead of using it for what it's supposed to be used for. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, I mean, it should. This fella's asking though, like, is it wrong to donate that way? I don't know, but yeah, it's a different question entirely. Is it wrong if the church itself takes that and does something wrong with it? Yeah, I mean, then.
Is it wrong to donate that if your church will take it? No. If that's a form of your money, that's a part of the value that you have, and if that's what you want to give it. Whether the church should take it or not, and what they do with it.
do with it, that's kind of a different matter. Yeah.
Well, I see what you're saying. It's I mean, I don't know of anywhere in the scriptures that the body of Christ is portrayed as a group of people who are making investments. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Well, the closest thing we could relate it to is what we just studied in Acts. What did they do? They took all of their assets and they sold them for a currency that was usable so that everybody could have what they needed.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, because it was immediately usable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to Chad's point, they liquidated it first.
Yeah.
And then handed Peter and John the proceeds, right?
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing. I see, as the individual leader of your family, yes, it is good to make investments. It's good to be a good steward of your money. It's good to leave an inheritance for your family members who are depending on you as the breadwinner. But I think that's good on the individual family level, but not on the church level. So, yeah, I think that's a great reference to Acts and kind of clearly defines how that.
Yeah, I mean,
worked out, at least in the beginning.
You know, not to drone on about this, but it is kind of an interesting point with church finances and like how immediate do you spend the money. I mean, a lot of churches have a big budget that they're paying out salaries monthly, and like they're not spending every dollar for dollar immediately. Like they have a savings account, you know, like the church's savings account. So is it wrong for that to be sitting in a high yield savings account that's
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yes.
like you would say yes?
I would say yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, I would say that's almost going on universally.
I would say that it would kind of be dumb not to. If the money's readily available and no
Right.
risk of losing it, why would
Right.
you not put it in like
I know.
something to earn interest?
The question is, why the crap aren't you using it?
Well, I mean, how are you supposed to? I mean, why aren't you, like that's a difficult question to say when you're talking about a lot of money coming through an organization that is trying
May
to
not be time to use it
to
yet.
pay salaries. I mean, yeah, because we have to. I mean, think about how you run the business, Chad. Why you got a savings account? Why aren't you spending it? Like, why aren't you using it, man?
Exactly.
Well,
The
no, not
church is
exactly.
a
Why?
business.
Well,
The church is not a business.
sorry, buddy. It actually is in a greater sense than we would.
That's what it's become.
Well, it's kind of unavoidable. I mean, if you want to run it anything like it is today. So I agree. We could now talk about church reform all day long, but that's kind of getting into a different
Well,
discussion.
they don't pay all the salaries immediately.
Well, that's all. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you going to pay the staff? I mean, if so, then you got to hold a little money back. Like, he's over it. Move on.
That's why I count the money.
So you guys haven't got to Ananias and Sapphira yet?
We just touched on it.
We're starting there on Monday, chapter 5.
You going to be here on Monday?
Land, right?
You ought to join us.
Yeah, you want to come in on Monday and be a part of that one?
Yeah, I'll be there on Monday.
Okay. That'd be
Perfect.
big.
Grant Turnage wants to know whatever happened to Sherbert Green.
That's a good question.
We actually know who Sherbert Green is now.
Yeah.
What went with him?
You do?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
going to say we don't even know who it is.
He sent an email and put it at the bottom just the other day to the basic course email.
Yeah, we know who Sherbert Green is. He's still around.
Ryan Russ.
Sent those jackets.
Any endurance events being considered or committed to for 2026? Also, what are the ways one can prepare for a 3 a.m. blowout diaper turd bomb?
Well, that's a Blake question.
Yeah, I have an endurance event coming up in 2026. It's having a baby.
That's big.
You're going to have to prepare for them 3 a.m. diaper turd bombs, too.
It's an 18-year-long endurance event.
Oh, yeah. He planning on dying at 18 or something? It's a lifelong endurance event, buddy.
No, you send them packing at 18. You can be done then.
Lifelong.
Whatever happens after that happens. What, baby? Oh, yeah. Brooke wanted to tell you the name that she settled on as of now is Chags. Chags with 2 Z's and middle name Nelson.
That's really stupid.
That's what she wants to name him.
Well, do you also want to name him that?
Look, man, I'm not in charge of that, dude. I'm in
The
charge
man,
of making
the man
money.
is supposed to name the babies.
Yeah. I mean, don't
I'm
you know about
I'm in
Native
charge of
Indian?
making the money.
Don't you know about Native American culture?
We should actually let Blake name our baby, boo.
No, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that.
We might actually just let you name our son, Blake.
I'll name him Chili. Name him Chili
He said he
Cornbread
named him
Right.
Chili.
Chili Cornbread Right.
Chili? He said he named him Chili Cornbread Right.
Wow.
Oh,
Call
my
him
God.
Bread.
Family name.
You got any endurance events coming up, Blake?
I've been in one for the last 8 years. Golly. Started one 8 years ago.
And made it harder, like just twice as hard halfway through.
Double down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said I call that and raise you one.
No, I mean, we're just playing it by ear to see what this is like to have a kid and all that stuff. But me and Chili would like to run a couple of races next year. Chili's training hard for him, and I think that he's a go. But I'm also training not quite as hard, but if everything works out, I'd like to do some running next year. A couple of races me and Chili's been looking at. So
I'm supposed to go to climb Kilimanjaro. If you consider that
That's a
an
good
endurance.
point. That's a big deal.
yeah. By the way, we have the premier. Speaking of endurance events, we have a brand new last man standing format. That race is going down this spring, and registration is open. And that's going to be a brand new format that is going to reward both speed and endurance. It's going to be on a 5,000-acre private farm with some really amazing trails. That's called the Don't Die in the Chair Last Man Standing. Check it out. It's on Ultra Sign Up right now. So if you're looking for a new experience, you need to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that appeals to a lot of runners.
Go read about the format.
Yeah,
it's on Ultra Sign Up. Go read about the format.
It's not your regular last man standing.
No, it's going to be really interesting, and there's going to be some strategy involved. Okay, so y'all go read about it. I think you're going to like it.
It's going to be big.
Oh yeah,
Gladstone. When is it okay?
That's Gladstone.
Gladstone. When is it okay to cut someone out of your life that has become a cancer in your family as well as a safety risk, and it still feels like you're doing God's will by not turning your back on them? Even if you are a family member returning home from their military service, having trouble to adapt to civilian life, struggling with this big time. Thanks. Love y'all.
Thank you, Glades Dan. And respect is.
If it's Glades Dan, he needs to put a period.
Well, that's what it is. So let's
comma.
That's Dan Moore, right?
All right.
Yeah, Gladstone.
Yeah, Chad, you can probably talk about that.
Well, if he's there.
I'm here, guys. Hold on, I'm peeing in a bottle. Let Cornbread kick that off, because I think he's dealt with some really difficult people in his life, and he's dealt with it in a lot more responsible and manly way than I have.
Well, I think when it's okay to cut someone out of your life is when it's has become apparent that regardless of how much you help them, they're just not going to change at all. And I'm talking like helping past the point where you didn't want to help anymore, and you just continue to help because either you was led that way and didn't know why you was helping, or you just don't want to and you just kept helping, and it just becomes apparent that you're not making a difference in their life, and they're not willing to make a difference in their life. This, as well as a safety risk, now that's, you got to stand flat-footed on that. You can't put yourself or your family or even them in danger. I think it's okay to cut somebody out immediately when it's a safety risk, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are that's sound wisdom right there, Cornbread. I mean, I've been really, my default has always been to just cut people out of my life when I reach a point that I feel like I'm not actively engaged in some sort of mission. Like, we're not doing life together. I cut him out of my life, but when I look back on why I was doing that, it's always been for selfish reasons. It's always been because that's the easy route for me, because it's one less relationship that I have to maintain. It's one less person who I have to engage in a conversation with. I have to enter into grief with. I have to, enter into hard seasons of life with. It's always been for selfish reasons, man. And I agree with Cornbread that there is a point where, you have to have boundaries with people, or you'll potentially let them destroy you and destroy potentially, your family unit. And I think there is a boundary there, but I've always been hard on the one direction of like, hey, I don't want to have to enter into any sort of grief or difficulty with this person potentially. So I'm not doing life with them. I'm going to cut them out. And I realize that I've been, that's immature, and that is the wrong way to be. We're called to come alongside each other, to help each other, especially in the body of Christ. At the same time, the caveat that I want to add to this is, because of the nature of this technological age that we live in, there is also a point where we, I think, are expected to maintain more relationships than we are humanly able, like our brain is even able to maintain. Because we just we're able to constantly communicate, be contacted through these cell phones and social media and all this stuff. So, I guess the caveat is, don't have unrealistic expectations on how many relationships that you're going to be able to actually maintain. And you do have to, at some point, pick and choose the relationships that you are going to be dedicated to and invested in. So that's just my little ramble on top of what Cornbread said. I think Cornbread's answer was much more directed at the answer to the question that was asked, and I think it's a good answer.
I've actually got something to this too. I think that it's kind of goes along with, a lot of times people want to know the point to do this. They're trying to make a big decision, and they're like, when is the point in time where you go, okay, I'm cutting this person out. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I thought about quitting my job to pursue this other career. Like, when's the point where you do it? And, I mean, there's definitely extraneous factors, and depending on which question you're actually trying to answer, you have to have things set up so your family's right and all this stuff. But, like, clearly Glades Dan here has not, this is not new. He's been deliberating on this for a long time.
Yeah.
I would say, like, if this person he referenced, like, maybe came home and is having troubles, right? Like, he didn't ask this question the day that this person got home. Like, it wasn't the point to do this yet. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, time has passed. He's clearly been thinking about it, and now he's reaching out and asking for advice and getting, like, so that tells you right there the point of making a decision on how to proceed here is pretty much here now. Like, he's wondering, when is it okay to do this? When's the point? I mean, just let that inform you. I'm not telling you that, oh, now's the time, but I'm saying, like, that's a good insight into, like, it's clearly waning on him, maybe hurting his family, hurting his ability to help his family. Like, you're getting to the point now where it is time to make that decision, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's just kind of a guideline that when you look back on other big decisions in your life, and it's like, man, when was the point that I did this? And a lot of times people wait too long because they feel bad, or they deliberate this, or they think, dang, well, history shows you, like, the point to make it is kind of where you're finding yourself now. Like, when you're really asking yourself, like, dang, I've given this dude time. When do I make this decision? Like, probably pretty soon.
Yeah.
That's just some general advice. I'm not telling Glades Dan, hey, cut that dude out of your life, but that's just some general advice.
And the cutaway doesn't have to be
exactly
blocking their number. I'll never talk to you again.
Right.
It can look like, hey, these are some biblical boundaries I have.
Yep.
That you're not allowed to cross and I'm not allowed to cross.
Yep.
And so from now on, our relationship has to be formed in this way. And if you can do that now or later on, we can have a relationship.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a final thing. Yeah.
That's good. That's good, Cornbread. Yeah, I like that, man. And that's who, mine and Brooks' old counselor, Jeremy, he's the one that really taught us, or helped us walk through what boundaries with, some unhealthy people and unhealthy relationships, what that can look like and how that doesn't have to look like you just completely cutting them off, all the way. That's good stuff, man. I'm glad you added that.
Billy Warden, have you ever considered or would you consider hosting a reunion ruck or some type of event for previous ROP course teams? Yeah, that's called the advanced ROP, Billy. Also, would like your input for recovery after long runs and rucks.
Chad's underwater again in the submarine. Yeah, the advanced drops. The advanced drops, kind of that. Also, I mean, Billy may not like this answer, but other basic course teams and ROP course teams have gotten together and done their own missions. Think back to the first Alpine team and how much Team Virtus has done together. I mean, that's on the team, the individuals. Like, we kind of placed that onus on them, and a lot of good has come from that. So I would encourage you, Billy, to organize that. I mean,
or come to the race.
Yeah,
I mean, that's really the reunion of.
Yeah, absolutely. The races have been reunions that we've put on, and yeah, we've seen a lot of good reunions, so to speak, orchestrated by the team members themselves. So that's the way to do that, I think.
Yeah,
and then recovery for long rucks and running. What do you got to say about that, Corn? You more of a rucker.
Well, hold on. I think what Chili just said, it reflects the spirit of what we are trying to accomplish with our training, okay? When you come and train with 3 to 7 Project, our primary goal is to equip you to take the things that you learned and go out and continue practicing those things in your everyday life and to continue in your own personal training now with the people who you have suffered with and built relationship with throughout the process of the Proving Grounds, the ROP course, or a basic course, all right? So I think that really reflects the spirit of what we are trying to accomplish. We're not trying to build a club here. We're trying to equip you with the things that you need to go out and, continue. It's not that we don't like to see people, we've had people do the ROP course 3 times now, and they have other things they want to work on, and they've assessed their performance, and they want to come back and try to improve on certain aspects of what they screwed up the last time. That's all good. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, and by the way, Billy has done that. I've seen pictures of something like he was with Tony from his ROP team.
That's
awesome. He's already doing it. So I just more of that.
He's living it then. That tickles me, man, when I see that.
Yeah.
What you got, Blake? You ain't said nothing.
Yeah, I just said something.
Did you?
Yeah, so that's what I think what he's looking for is something that is where there's a large group of people, maybe even people that wasn't on his team, and I think that's the race.
The races are reunions and your own.
You can come hang out if you want to walk, if you want to run, if you just want to, whatever.
Tom Russell We always talk about dying to ourselves. I took this job, and I didn't even think it was possible to love a job and be as happy as I am now. Isn't that the opposite of dying to myself? I prayed about this job and moving here that God's will be done, but I almost feel guilty for being so content and happy. Maybe God has a job for me out here. We shall see. That is the only thing I've been questioning.
Well, I don't think that people often think of serving the Lord as like just this miserable existence. And while you'll have some bad things happen, if we look in the Acts where Peter and John were just arrested, how did they respond after being arrested? They went back. They prayed. They all prayed in one accord, like they were thankful to have been persecuted for the cause of Christ. And so, I think if you're enjoying what you're doing, now, if you start to seek it over the Lord, then it can be a problem. But if you're there and you're like, man, I kind of feel bad to be enjoying my job, I don't think you should feel bad about that. I think that would symbolize that maybe you're where you should be right now. Maybe you're so happy because you're being fulfilled. Maybe you're doing something that you feel that the Lord has called you to. I don't see nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. Selflessness shouldn't always equate to a feeling of difficulty or misery. I agree with you, Blake. But one thing that I will also add is, if whatever you're doing, like, I love my job too. I love what we've all been called to do together. But I will say that if it's never difficult, or there's never an aspect of it that is difficult for you, then you're probably missing something. So it shouldn't it shouldn't always be miserable. No, that's not what the Lord wants for us, even when He calls us to selfless service. But there should be aspects of it at times that are difficult for you, and if those aren't there, I would encourage you to expand upon whatever you're doing in some way, shape, or form, to where there is at least a part of it that's challenging you, and you feel uncomfortable in that in some way, shape, or form.
You got one, Chill?
No, I mean, we've asked most of the good ones. Any more on Patreon?
Yeah, Ed B., what kind of advice can you give folks who are surrounded by people who have their heads down, addicted to their phones? Friends, family, co-workers. I unplugged from the social media trap a couple of years ago, and I have my head up, and I'm blown away how bad this has gotten. Nothing I can say seems to affect them.
Do you think that's Ed Bassmaster?
Look at that.
Well, I would say
that was really funny.
I have learned that you can tell somebody something one time. If you see something and you feel like you have the authority or the buy-in with that person, that they would listen to you. And other people they'll harp on something. But my opinion is, you tell somebody something one time, they're either gonna do it or they ain't. And any effort you spend trying to convince them otherwise is wasted effort, because we can't change people's hearts. And you might get some changed behavior out of them, but they're not going to do it willingly. They might just do it to please you or because they're tired of hearing about you. And what good is changed behavior, really? It's really temporary. I mean, it might benefit something. But so my advice is just to maybe point out to them, hey, I was also like that. And I've stopped, and here's the good things that's happened. And for some of them, they might be like, you're right. But half of them's going to not want to get off of it, and they're going to say, well, good for you. I don't feel that way. And as bad as you can feel for them, you're going to waste your breath, you're going to waste your emotions, and you're going to get frustrated because nobody's listening to you. Most you can do for people like that is pray for them. Yeah. If that's something that they need prayer about, that's dragging their life down. But
Okay. Blake, I have a rebuttal to that. And this is for all of you three guys who are listening to this. if you see me doing something stupid and you tell me and I don't change, please keep encouraging me to change and calling me out. All right? Like, sometimes I need to be told multiple times because I'm a hard-headed and sometimes I think I know it all. But at least you guys who are the men who are in place to hold me accountable, since I am such a turd sometimes, keep telling me, please, don't give up on me, because
you like how you frame that?
Because I need to hear it multiple times. So for some people, it might work if you tell them multiple times. I get where you're coming from, Blake. I get where you're coming from. There's a lot of truth in what you said too.
It may be a personal character flaw of mine, because I told the person they're not listening to me, and so
don't leave me in the dust, Bubba.
Oh, I wouldn't. I pray for you often.
keep exhorting me to do better in the areas that I fall short in. And then I would add one thing to that. Depending on what type of relationship you're in with these people you're talking about, guy, I would say maybe take it upon yourself to plan an experience with them and for them that forces them to get away from that technology, and then in turn allows them to experience what it feels like to not be so hooked on that. And so that can, my go-to would be planning a multiple day hike somewhere in a really cool place where the phones don't work. That's one of the things that I do enjoy seeing when we take people out to train, because of all of our training is cell phone free. I really love being able to provide an experience where a small part of that experience is creating a space where you get to experience what it's like to be disconnected from that technology, at least for a few days at a time. And a lot of people take a lot away from that. That wakes a lot of people up, I think. So maybe take it upon yourself to plan an experience like that for some of these people that really mean a lot to you.
Yeah. Ryan Russ, how do you all see the different groups like the Incas, the Aztecs, the Mayans, and the Native Americans tying into the biblical Old Testament and New Testament story?
Like, where do they fit in? Is that what he's asking?
Yeah, where do they tie into the biblical Old Testament and New Testament?
Historically, I don't know what the timeline is like. I don't know what book of the Bible would have been written around their time. Do you, Chili?
No, I really don't know how old the Aztecs and Mayan civilization is.
Prehistoric.
Like when you go back, I really don't know. I don't. Point is, we know there was people around in other parts of the world, when the book of Acts was written, say. So I can't really speak on super ancient, like Old Testament, but that's a good question as far as, what I do know, like the ancient, whoever it was. People in the Americas up to, way before we got here, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, a lot of people wonder, did Jesus appear to the Native Americans? You know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of theory. Like, it is interesting when you think of worldwide civilizations going way back. Like, how does it all tie in? When was the Earth maybe once just a big supercontinent that then broke, And that's a good question. I don't have much.
Yeah, I don't either. Chad?
Oh, I know. Don't ask him if he's got it.
Yeah.
Tell us, Chad.
Of course. Of course I have the answer to this question. I don't know that I'll be able to give you the whole
I didn't doubt
answer
it.
because, it would take me a little while to be able to give you the whole answer to that question.
Just a cliff notes.
But look, man, it's good.
Huh?
It fits in there.
Wow, yeah, great answer. We've got a lot of people asking about you being a father. I mean, just so many questions. I can't.
He can't answer any of that yet.
Oh, you are. Hey, buddy. You know he's a dad right now. He's got little Jabal sitting in that.
Chaz.
Yeah, it's
Billy.
being a
Chugs.
being a father
about
right
Chugs.
now.
I
Being
mean,
a father right now is.
I didn't ask you a specific question, but
It's a lot of work being a father right now. I mean, I have to make sure I take care of Brooke and rub her feet and make sure that she's fed. And it's a lot of work, man. It should only get easier from here.
I think that's not the case. Is that true, Blake? It only gets easier from here. Blake said it gets progressively harder.
No.
So not only harder, but like harder than the week before, and
Like
then that week is harder.
interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, me and Brooke, we parent different than Blake parents. So
Yeah, they parent better.
we get the hard part out of the way while our son is in the womb. And then
That's really the hardest part.
yeah, once our son is born, he's born into our lives. So our son's not coming in. Our son doesn't have the authority to change anything about our lives. Right?
And once he's born, when he's not born, he does change it.
Well, right now, it's all about Brooke. And Brooke is part of our lives, okay? When our son is born, he's adapting to how we live. We're not adapting to how he wants to be. And so we get the hard part out of the way in the very beginning. And then after that, it's just about him trying to figure out how he's going to adapt to how me and Brooke live our lives. So that's the way that we parent.
What is the age you think he's going to be able to start being like, okay, hey, what I've been doing ain't working, so I've got to figure out how mom and daddy roll, and I need to roll like that.
I've been crying in this crib all morning, and they've left. I can't catch up with them.
There ain't nothing here but 2 dogs and a cat. I mean,
Yeah, that actually starts for him immediately.
good grief.
Yeah.
Well, that's about. I mean, I'm about out of questions. What about you, Corn?
There's one left on Patreon, but I want to put it in the pipe. I think it would be better for when Chad's here.
Okay.
More of a pipe hitter.
All right. You want to move on to super chats then, Chad, or you want to take a final question?
No, we'll put it in the pipe. I'm about out of time here.
All right. Okay. We got one super chat according to Paris James. Hope it's a good one. Blake will read it, and you can give your thoughts, and then we're going to wrap up.
It's a good one, too.
It's a good one?
Yeah, this nearest by Harvest McCullough. Come in at $20. This super chat sponsored by Rostas and the search for a 1987 GMC pickup truck with a bad alternator. Shout out to Brooke, Courtney, and all the volunteers that put together MMFC. Great seeing you all.
Huh. Harvest McCullough was at Mountain Mama.
It appears.
And he didn't allow nothing.
Dang.
What's Rostas and the search for a 1987 GMC pickup?
Now, Harvest speaks in code.
Yeah. I don't know. With a bad alternator.
Dad's got a 1986 GMC pickup for sale. Doesn't have a bad alternator, though.
Yeah.
Now, Harvest McCullough was at the race and didn't.
That bothers me.
Is that?
Well, thank you for your.
Waiting to reveal it. He was waiting to reveal his identity when I'm there.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna keep missing stuff?
Good luck with that, Harvest.
Yeah, you'll never see him ever again.
Golly, like a wraith. He's here, then he ain't.
Oh man.
Oh, I ain't seen him in weeks.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, because I've been working.
Oh, sounds like it.
You guys have been. Yeah.
As you toured Appomattox.
Should have got that
It's all
sword.
part of my job.
So, are you going to get mad if Blake signs this podcast off?
Cut it off, Chili. Cut it off.
Enough said.